Hi everyone, really quick video here on laws of indices. I'm going to fly through these, so if there's anything you're not sure and you have to just recap it, go back on it and double check it. Okay, so first one, when you're multiplying with indices, hopefully you should all be aware you add those together. So this would become x to the power of 13. Next one, this line means divide. So when you're dividing with indices, you subtract. Okay, so just make sure you're aware of that. So x to the power of 15 divided by x to the power of 7 becomes x to the power of 8. Next one, when you see it in brackets, you multiply those two together because that actually means x to the power of 4 times x to the power of 4 times x to the power of 4, which means you would then technically add the 4, add the 4, add the 4, so you can just put times by 3, so that becomes x to the power of 12. Now, specific example here, just be careful because actually what this now means is you're saying 2x to the power of 5 times 2x to the power of 5. So you actually end up multiplying those two together to get 4. And then x to the power of 5, x to the power of 5 becomes x to the power of 10. So your answer is 4x to the power of 10. Next one, probably the easiest one of them all. Anything to the power of 0 is 1. So it doesn't matter what it says. If it says x to the power of 0 or 462 to the power of 0, your answer is 1. If you get a negative indice, what you can do is put the number over 1. And then all you do is you flip this upside down. So it now becomes 1 over 5 and then it's squared. Well, 1 over 5 squared means 1 over 5 times 1 over 5, and that gives you a total of 1 over 25. You times the top by top, bottom by the bottom. Next one is a fractional one. If you get a fractional indice, what you do is you do a root sign. So this one's only on high. If you're doing foundation, you wouldn't need to worry about it. You put a 64 underneath it. Whatever the denominator is goes on the outside. You do the square root of 64 first, which is 8, and then the numerator becomes your power. 8 to the power of 1 is just 8. And then the final one here is a combination of those two things. So what we do is you put it as 125 over 1 and we flip it upside down, same as we did with question 6 there. So it becomes 1 over 125. And then what we do is we follow those rules for the indice part where it's a fraction. So it now becomes the cubed root. So the 3 comes on the outside. And then you do 1 over 125. Well, the cube root of 125 is 5. And the cube root of 1 is 1, so it becomes 1 over 5, and then whatever the numerator is here is what you then do. So you're squaring that, which is basically the same as what we did up here. So it's 1 over 5 times 1 over 5, which is 1 over 25. So 125 to the power of minus 2/3 is 1 over 25. Quite a lot of information in that one, but just a quick recap before you go into your exams.